This is the only content you may never find anywhere else. If you doubt it, type the word how to invest and never lose your money. And probably you will not get an answer, or if you get, almost few, right? Because investing is risky. Investing, you're putting your money hoping for gains, and sometimes it doesn't come out. So what are the steps you could take that will ensure that you do not lose your money? And Warren Buffett says, the number one rule for investing is not to lose your money. So how do you implement it? So for me, it's been a roller coaster of wanting answers, studying, evaluating things, doing a lot of things. And I came up with five things that I followed to help me avoid scams, help me avoid investments that will lose my money. And feel free to pick anyone that fits into your style. The first thing I did was to define my investing categories. So if you watch my other video when I talked about the two categories of investment, you know you have passive investment and active investment. And sometimes if you don't have so much business knowledge on how operation works, employment, how to work with people, negotiation, you can just start with the passive investment category. So passive investments are like cryptocurrencies, stocks, indices, and the rest of it, automated trading portfolio and the rest of these things we've been talking about. So I have to define that this is the category of investment I want to go into. So if someone calls me and say, oh, we have an investment into charcoal, I may not be interested. If we have an investment into this, I may not be interested because I don't know much about that. So, but I just choose one category of investment and say, this is the category of investment I will go into and I will learn about and I will start investing in. That was the first thing I did. So the next thing was to create an investment strategy. So what strategy will I be using to invest in these things, right? Let's say you are investing in passive investments like cryptocurrencies, like stocks and the rest. And the norm is you hear people say things like, oh, this coin is pumping, I have to buy it. They buy it and oh, it's down, and they sell it and they lose 50% of their capital and stuff like that. So what is the investment strategy that will tell me when to go in and when to go out? So I had to build something like that. For me, I decided to do something very, very simple. I don't want to tax my brain. I just want to follow a system that works. And I use a strategy called rebalancing. So I've explained it in my other videos, but I'll try to break it down and make it very, very fast. And rebalancing just means, let's say, for instance, you want to invest into cryptocurrencies. Now, I'm not going to invest into buying Bitcoin and put all my money in Bitcoin, hoping Bitcoin, nothing happens to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the 10 best, 20 best coins on the market list, right? I'm going to look at the top coins and I'm going to pick 10 to 20 of them and I'm going to create what I call an index. So an index, a portfolio, just a container that carries a lot of assets, right? So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, just different of them, put all of them together, and that is called an index. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, let's say I'm investing $100 every single month into this asset. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to invest that $100 into Bitcoin. No, I will divide it amongst these 20 assets, and that will be probably $5, which is 5% per asset. What happens now with a rebalancing system is, when, let's say, Bitcoin goes by a percentage, let's say 10%, making it valued at 10%, right? And let's say the price of Solana goes down to, let's say, 5%. What happens is I'm going to sell a bit of my Bitcoin and buy a bit of Solana, because now Solana is at a discounted price. So I want to accumulate. I want to buy more of Solana since it's at a discounted price, right? So let's say Solana is sold at $5. Right now is now sold at $2. So if I use $5, I can buy almost 3 of Solana. So that's the strategy. So rebalancing it, bringing everything to equilibrium, and by bringing everything to be equal, I keep accumulating. And now I have a tool I use, I have a platform I use, and I explain exactly how to use it on other videos. But that's one strategy you could use. So you must have a strategy to actually do all these things. So the strategy cannot be to tell you about the coin, you just quickly go and buy. Your strategy has to be something that is concurrent and something that can last you 5 years, 10 years, and stuff like that. So you have to have a strategy, and that's something I developed. So the third thing I did was to create an investing criteria. So the laws I follow, the to-do list. And one thing you must know about investing is at every 5 minutes in a day, there are over 1,000 available investments for you to invest in, available opportunities calling for your attention. So you must actually have a to-do list to follow, right? And the truth is, a lot of investment will make you money, but most investment will lose all your money. So I had to create a to-do list, what I follow, things I tick before I place my money into this investment, and say, okay, with this investment, this is what I'm investing into, right? Those criteria is what I call my law of investing. And that's because the one way to win a football game is not necessarily scoring more goals. Sometimes it's just keeping the goals from entering your net. So you need a good keeper, you need a good defense. And these criteria are like a defense mechanism to avoid bad investments. And I'm going to be sharing them with you. And law number one is, if it can't be profitable 5 years from now, I'm not investing. A lot of investments will come to you. Some of them will promise you, oh, this investment in the next 2 days will make a lot of money, in the next 5 days. But if you've ever studied anything about investing, or you try to invest your money, your hard-earned money, you know that you actually make profit sometimes 5 years after the investment, 10 years after the investment. There are few investments that can actually make you money from day one, from the first year, the second year. So if it can stay up to 5 years, if it can be profitable after 5 years' time, I don't think it's a good investment to invest in. Now, I need you to understand that you're not missing out on any investment, because investments keeps coming. Thousands of investment opportunities keep coming. So if this one can stay up to 5 years, 5 years is not still profitable, then what's the use of investing in it? So this is one law that I follow. So I look at the coin, I look at the investment, I look at the YouTube channel I want to buy or whatsoever I'm investing in, and I ask myself, in 5 years' time, would this still be involved? Would this still be needed? Would this still be in demand? And if not, that's off my list. So the next law is called the law of exit before entry. So this law is, before I purchase this stuff, before I get to enter this investment and stuff, when am I exiting? When am I leaving the investment? I can give you an example. For instance, you can be aware that Warren Buffett just acquired a stock, and you're acquiring it with him, but you don't know when he's exiting. You don't know when he's leaving the investment, and there you're stuck and he's out and you lose all your money. So I want to know, when am I leaving this investment, or at least when am I taking this investment into something else? I like to know if it's 10 years time, it's 5 years time, what will happen, what should happen, and stuff like that before I get into this investment. So I could know if I'm taking a loss, I know, okay, this is a loss. If I'm taking a break even, I know this is a break even. If I'm making a profit, I can keep that profit. So I want to know when I'm exiting, and I do it using a strategy. And when I can't find an exiting point with this investment, then that's not an investment. For instance, I want to invest into blogs, right? So I want to start buying blogs, a lot of blogs, let's say 50 portfolio of blogs. And now I have a lot of blogs. So when am I exiting? Who am I selling to? Who will buy this blog? Who am I reaching out to? When will I be selling it? And if I sell it, what profit am I expecting to get? If I can't get those things nailed down, then there's no use acquiring the blog. So I look for my exits before I even go into the investment. So I look for, when am I exiting before I start investing into the property? When am I exiting before I start investing into the coins? And when I get that nailed down, then that's a good ticker for the investment. The next law I work with is called the law of de-risking. You need to understand what risk means. Risk just means lack of control. So if I can't control the price of a thing, then it's risky. If I can't control what happens with a commodity, what happens with a property, then it's risky. If I can't control the price I put for the rental, if I can't control anything, then I call it risky. That's why things like Bitcoin are very risky, because we don't really know what drives the price. You know, anything can drive the price. I don't really have control over it, so it's a little bit risky. So what I want to do for every of these investments is that I want to ask myself, what is a method or something that can help me reduce the risk here? So could it be a partnership? Could it be something, let's say I'm investing into this business, could I partner with something else, somebody else that has more pedigree, that knows so much about this, that can help me reduce the risk in this business? And if I can't find, that's really a red flag, because it simply means I'm going to be going all in with a lot of risk that I can't manage. These are the 3 laws that I follow out of the 10 that are helping me to make sure I do not lose my investment. If you've stayed till now, it simply means you've gained a little bit of value. So give the video a thumbs up and share this video so that other people that needs to find a strategy to reduce their losing strike and losing their investment can find this video.